I think the thing that I'm most worried about is that my ears are very sensitive. They said to bring earplugs. My ears are so sensitive, like not only in what it's taking in, but like they're just. I feel like God didn't give me the right size ears. Like you know how everybody has something. Um, I feel like God was like, "Damn, sorry, your ears don't fit your body." So solo date number two is two things. One is I'm going to buy myself lunch at a raw vegan spot called Cane and Coconuts. Actually, just been looking up different raw vegan spaces spots, and this was one of the ones that I found a while ago, but did not get a chance to try. And so I was like, oh, that'll be a good day. I wanted to do something very wellness centered today. And so that's why I went with that. And then the second one is to do a sound bath, which again is something that I've been interested in trying for some time, but just not have not found the right experience. I don't know if this is the right experience. I don't know if there is a right experience, but I'm doing it. So I am going to a place called 532 Yoga. I think there's a practitioner that just works out of this space, but I'll look up the information and share it if people are interested. But I am excited about being able to do this because I have been wanting to do it. I am always open to improving my meditation practice. I do have a singing bowl, but I'm going to be honest, that was the sweetest gift that a friend could have got me. And then I was like, I ain't about to sit here and do this the whole time. So I haven't used it much. Maybe I'll go today. I'll learn something about it. I'm like, oh, I can actually do this on my own. I don't know, but I'm open. You know, that's my goal is just kind of be open to something new. And so I'm doing that. So first stop was to go to Cane and Coconut. Those ladies are so sweet and so kind, and they walked me through most of the stuff there. They really talked through everything, which I really appreciate. Was not inexpensive, but it's it makes sense. It makes sense. You're talking about fresh foods like not processed. Those things are expensive. And also I just kept buying stuff. Like, I didn't probably need to buy 32 ounces of coconut water, but I was like, I need water anyway. And I'm gonna be honest, not coconut water, but it was either this or they had like some alkaline water that was infused with essences of like different things like soursop and some other stuff that I can't I can't pronounce. And they were for things like detox, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to go to the sound bath. I really don't want to be detoxing throughout my sound bath. So I just was like, I needed some water. Coconut water seemed okay to me. If I had my stevia, this probably would be very tasty. Anyway, so I'm excited about that. What did I get? They had a barbecue tacos, which they said that's one of their most popular things on the menu. So I got that. And then for the sides, one was plantains are like dehydrated plantains and then I got like a kale sesame a side of kale sesame. And then the last thing was they had actually I don't think you know what, take it back. I tried their moss mac and cheese. I have never that was the first time that I've because they let me try it. I'm not a sea moss type girl, so I have not done sea moss. It's not like it's like crack. Come on, what is happening? Um, I have not had sea moss before, but my body is just really asking for detox in general from all of the stuff that I'm eating, and that's just really where I feel pulled at this point. So it might be something that I'll try more of. But it was the texture of it was very tasty. But the texture of it wasn't quite something that I thought that I was going to want to eat a lot of. So I just decided to go with something that was a little less out there for me. I know people who have sea moss all the time are like out there, but whatever. For me, it is what it is. I can only be me. For me, I just thought it was going to be too much for me. So, I might try it another time because I will go back there. And then I got a blueberry, like it looks like maybe blueberry cream, like cheesecake or something, but it's all raw vegan. Coconut meat is their base, so it should be good. I'm excited about trying it. Unfortunately, there's only one place where you can sit. It's right outside of the place, and people were sitting there, so it was like one table. It's definitely a pick up and go type of restaurant. Um, and beautiful. Like I said, I felt very warm in going in there. I felt like they were going to explain everything to me, which they did. And so I would give them 2 thumbs up. I know the food will be tasty. It'll be different and I'm okay with that. But I got to eat this in the car. So I'm going to eat it in the car. I'm headed to the yoga situation now. I'm going to eat it in the car and hopefully I get in enough time to eat enough of it where I'm not hungry because I did not eat this morning yet. Right before the class. So that's what we doing. I'm gonna try this. This is their barbecue taco, barbecue coconut. It's good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Also got kale sesame salad. That's good. I'm wishing because there's so much kale salad on those barbecue tacos that I would have gotten something else. It tastes like a salad. And the kale is very, very tender. I'm not a fan of the sauce, to be honest. Okay. So I don't know if you see these. I thought originally they were going to be like crispy, like chips. They are not. I don't know how you do this without a knife. It's like a pie of sorts. Let me try to get under here. Oh, this is a big old thing. Sometimes I should have got a small that. Mm-hmm. That's very tasty. It's very sweet. Like together, these would be good. So the kale salad by itself is just okay. The kale salad with the plantains, just a sweet, crunchy type situation is very good. Maybe I should try because this isn't the last Thai foods. The other stuff will last. I promise you this looked a lot tastier a few minutes ago. I don't have this. I think this would have been probably very, very good when I first got it. And it was like stiff right out of the freezer. But I wouldn't get this again unless I was eating it immediately. Overall, best item is this one, for sure. These tacos. Oh, these tacos are amazing. Okay. But you should go in. That's what I got. Food was amazing. Certain things I wouldn't get again. I'm gonna try this because, like I've mentioned before, I'm not sure that I love coconut water. Not like that. Guess what? It's a lot of damn water. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Anyway, but I'm gonna drink it because I bought it. Finish my matcha, and I'm ready to go in. Just finished the class, and got back in my car. You know, the first thing that I did, eat the rest of my barbecue tacos. Yes, they were that good. um, Gosh, they were so good. I'm yeah, already thinking about the next time that I will go and get them because they were good. And actually, this coconut water is actually growing on me. Um, I don't know how to explain it, but it tastes like bodily fluids a little to me in a way that is just very. And it's not just this; it's all coconut water. I always feel that way about coconut water. It's equivalent of what I would imagine it would be like drinking somebody's saliva. I know that sounds absolutely unappealing and just not appetizing at all, which is why I don't generally drink it. But I know that it does have health benefits, and so that was the water that they had. So I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna finish it up. She said I need to finish it in 24 hours, so I will be doing that. But I also wanted to just kind of like reflect on the class because in an experience like that, everybody has very different feelings, and sometimes you don't even know what you get from something. You just get it, and eventually it reveals itself to you. And I don't know that I have that revelation yet, but what I will say is, it was a very enjoying experience. Enjoyable. There we go. What? Okay, a very enjoyable experience. It was interesting. I told her I was like, it's. I don't know if I was supposed to feel so relaxed that I fall asleep, or if I was supposed to be awake. I don't know. I don't remember. At some point, I lost consciousness, so I don't know if that was sleep. I was kind of thinking that possibly I might have been snoring, but maybe not. Because when I woke up, I didn't feel like I was asleep, if that makes sense. When I could hear everything when she said, I'm never going to come back to your bodies. Like I felt everything that she was doing, but I felt sleep, if that makes sense. I will say the space originally, the first thing I thought was like, I don't feel warm here. And I think it was just because when I came in, I didn't know how to get in. Like once I got in, the person who was at the desk wasn't super friendly. But it's fine. Everybody doesn't have to be friendly. I felt warm from Jenny immediately. She called me Miss Chia. She was like, "Your Chia is just." I was very attractive. It was very beautiful. She said spotted. I don't know what that means, but like I was like, that sounds cool. I want a good Chia. Call me Miss Chia. Um, so somebody told me what Chia Chi is it Miss Chia? I don't know. Tell me what that means. Like I different instruments definitely pulled different like reactions in my body. There was one that obviously I don't know what it was doing, but it felt I don't know what type of instrument. I can't help you with that. I don't know what instrument it was, but I could tell that it was like deeply connected to my physicality because like things that like it was I was very aware of where there were aches and pains and stuff. And then there were some where I felt very cool sensations. And then some where I felt very held, if that makes sense. So because it's October, right? And with it being winter, the Day of the Dead, nearing in October, and then just October tomorrow is a full moon. She talks a lot about that. But she said the energy for this particular practice is about connecting with our ancestors. She said prior pets, things, children, that type of situation. Um, and an effort to release things in our past. And um release like generational curses, which she explains like in a very way. Because whenever I think of generational curse, I think it's something that you have no control over, but instead releasing and it, really part of the releasing of a generational curse is acknowledging that you do have control over it. And that's kind of what I felt in that particular moment. It's so this is going to get a little too deep right now. This is still date number two. And, you know, as I'm getting to know myself, you guys are getting to know me. So this feels, you know, whatever, but I'm in a space of really I don't know how to explain it because when somebody you tell somebody that you feel very healed, you it sounds like it's lip service, but I feel like a lot of those things that I know, like I've spent so much time becoming aware of those ways in which I'm holding myself back that I didn't really feel like there were things that I needed to release, if that makes sense. So in prior to pets, I've had other, but like the two main pets that really come to mind when I think about prior pets. Um, yeah, I don't know if I felt like they were with me. I've been told that I have a spirit child with me at all times, which makes sense. I'm a very youthful person. And I look at life in a way that feels very youthful. So that never felt weird when somebody said that with me, but they're like, there's like a child with you. I heard that more than once. And they, you know, people always ask me whether or not I've had like, you know, a kid who didn't make it, you know, whatever, or like a sibling that passed. So I will say, I don't know if that's it, but or if that's the connection, or if it's just someone who's picked up my energy because my energy is youthful. I don't know, but uh, so I just kind of embraced that that might be something I connect with. And ancestry, like I thought through my dad. I thought through my aunt. Was one of my she's probably the closest aunt to me who passed away right after COVID or during COVID time. And my dad who passed away when I was like 18. So, but I will say I don't know that I've fully felt like I made connection with those people. And although I did not do it with my dad, like with his help, or I wasn't able to process this with him in his living state. I do think I have processed a lot of the things that, you know, a lot of the things that could have been ailments for me and that happened, you know, being his daughter. And, you know, daughter to a dad who had no understanding of what I may have needed as a child you know, whatever. But the point that I'm making is, I don't know, it didn't feel like I needed to release anything. It just felt good to have the noise, not the noise, but the sound radiate through my body. And like I said, the biggest thing that kind of came up was this feeling of like being aware of my body and being aware of the things that are aching in my body, but not particularly, I wouldn't say particularly, it was like emotional healing. But that's okay. Everybody gets different things from it. And the point of that is not to do it and be like, oh, it has to be this type of way. So I will say there was something else. Oh, so two things. One is that during the session, she asked us to pick a card. Before the session started, she asked us to pick a card. And the card that I picked, it said, when you have good fortune, share it. Um, and how I interpreted that was because sometimes when you feel like you're in a good space or you feel like something great has happened to you, there's a tendency, particularly in this type of society, to not share that because you don't want to feel like you're kind of for people who are not maybe having good fortune, you don't want to feel like you're being boastful, or you don't want to feel like, you're throwing it in people's faces. And that's something I'm actually trying to move away from, this feeling of not being okay with telling people that I feel great. And I know that that's hard for other people to hear when they're not in that space, but more, um, I hope that as I say that I'm in a good space, that other people acknowledge that there is choice in that. And everything. I mean, you can feel in a good space in every single part of your lives. Um, Even the harder parts, even the more challenging parts. I will never ever say that if somebody, created a scale of what a perfect life would be, I would be so far down I'd be like, this is perfect, this is zero. I'm sort of here, right? Probably. That's what I would assume if there was like take the things, take a test and see where you fall. Um, but in this stage of my life, I'm recognizing that how I feel about what's going on in my life really is the thing that I can control, right? And sometimes with controlling how you look at certain things in your lives, remember it's all perspective, right? It's all perspective because things are just happening. It's how we bring them, how we choose to think about them. And so I don't know, and that good share good fortune. Because also the other thing is I'm going through this content creator type, I want to explore what that feels like and what that looks like. There's a space of, am I doing it for you? Am I doing it for me? And no, I'm doing it because I want to share the good things that are going on in my life. And I want to remember them for me, but also to encourage other people that whatever you want in life, you absolutely can have. And this is something I want to experience. Does this dictate whether or not I have a great life? No. um or a bad life, no, it's just choices about experience. And so I don't know, it was just kind of a reminder, and it was just sort of a giving me permission to be okay with sharing, um because I want to, and not feeling like there's something wrong for me sharing when things are going well. I say that to say, I also will share when things don't go well, but I probably won't do it as much, and I'll tell you why. Not because of the fact that I'm trying to hide anything, but because the way that I process things at this stage in my life is not bad or good. It's happening and how I react to it. And so, um, that being said, like I don't really stay in the space, or I'm trying to not stay in the space of just feeling bad and telling people, oh, I feel bad, just to like, qualify whether or not people think I'm being real, or whether or not I'm, trying to just show the good parts of my life. It's just that when there's no good or bad and there's just things, you just choose to share what you choose to share because it feels good. And that's, yeah, anyway. So that might be a little involved for some people. And again, everybody doesn't feel like that. And I absolutely encourage people to believe what they choose to believe. But I just will always say to people, as long as it's working for you, if it's working for you to not choose to, or to choose to like shine light on the things in your life that don't feel great to you, and you spend more energy in those, go for it. Because as long as it's working for you to do that. But if doing that makes you feel worse about yourself, it's okay to be like, well, I'm not going to keep talking about that every day. I'm not going to get up every morning and choose that experience every single morning. Maybe some mornings I get up and I choose the experience to say, I'm going to free myself of this for today so that I can choose something else and I can feel better. So that's just me. And then the other thing she said at the very end, she was like, think about a word, everybody come up with a word in terms of what they felt in terms of this practice. I said freedom. And freedom is just the freedom to feel what I want to feel, the freedom to do what I want to do, the freedom to explore the way I want to explore, the freedom to make something more or make something less, or just be with something. And that was my word. And I wanted to, I don't know, it just felt right to share that today because that was part of the experience. But that's it. That's my second date. It was a great date. And in this date, I'd say I'm starting to get to know this person, right? And I'm enjoying the experience of getting to know them. So I'm just going to continue getting to know them. That's what I'm saying. But I don't know where I'm supposed to stop. It looks like this is the right place. My assistant went through. I feel like if I went there, I could just go through that light. That might be. Yeah, this is the same.